Hi everyone, my name is Bianca Pastejo, the founder of No Conceal, and I am here at the PMU World here in Miami. And with me is a very special person in my heart because this woman right here is not just an inspiration for me, but an inspiration to a lot of PMU artists and businesswomen out there. And one thing that I love most about this woman is she has an incredible heart. I was just telling her earlier.
Thank you.
Like honestly, her energy, her heart, just amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Shay Danielle.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Can I take you everywhere and you can just introduce me to everyone like that?
I
That
think
would
we
be
should.
amazing.
As long as you do the same for me.
I will. I promise. I promise I will.
So, Shay, my first question for you is how did you get started in the industry?
Oh, it's been a long time. So we got to rewind like maybe 12 or 13 years now. Yeah, it's been a while. I was doing a job that wasn't making me happy. I wasn't passionate about. I was a flight attendant, so I was doing a lot of this and this, and it wasn't the right fit. So I knew I wanted to do something different. And since I was this big, I loved doing my friends' makeup. I would do their hair before school dances. I used to do nails, like even as a child. So I knew like the beauty industry was where my heart was. So I started taking some classes. I started with skincare, lashing, and then shortly thereafter, permanent makeup came into my life, and I knew that it was going to be something that I would be very good at.
And you were good at it.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I like to think that I do pretty well. I think when you love something so much, you become obsessed with it. And when you're obsessed with something you love, you're naturally going to improve and get really good. So I still pinch myself often that I get to do this for a living. Like I still don't understand how. I think I would do it for free if I wasn't getting paid to do it. But yeah, I started taking classes and then very slowly built my clientele. It took about a year to get busy, and then I quit flight attending and then full-time permanent makeup since then.
Wow.
Yeah.
What would you say was the hardest part when you were starting as a permanent makeup artist? What was the hardest, most difficult thing?
Well, again, rewinding back then we did not have amazing events like this. We didn't have networking. We didn't have social media where we could ask questions. So it was very lonely. It was honestly very lonely. And when you could connect with someone and ask them a question, nobody wanted to share. They really kept it to themselves. It was a very competitive mindset back then. So seeing the changes in the industry, it makes me so happy. I'm so proud to be a part of it. And it's one thing that, that I am really passionate about is helping others to answer those questions for them. I feel like I spend all day answering questions for people because I don't want them to feel how I felt, back then when I just didn't have any help.
It's crazy that you say this because I actually have some people in our community, our students, and they say in our community how they message you, and they're not even your student, they're not even in your platform or anything, but they message you to ask questions and you answer.
Yeah, I do. And I voice note them so that it's a personal response. That's usually the first hour and a half of most of our mornings when we get into work is just responding to people. And I think that is what has built a lot of trust with me in this industry is because they can rely on me to answer a question. Whether they're a student or not, I will always do whatever I can in my power to try and help them.
And I feel like also like a lot of people are commenting on your page. They're like, I feel like you're my best friend because your aura is really like, some people, right? They look very nice in videos, but in reality, they're kind of like not that nice.
I know what you
like,
mean, yeah.
You're like who you are. What you see in social media, in her reels, is exactly how she is in real life. So that's why I think like people are really connected with you.
Yeah.
Would you say that that's a big part of your success?
Yes, I believe that. I believe that if you just focus on being your authentic self, which sometimes can be scary. I mean, I get imposter syndrome too. I don't come to these events very often. I tend to, I'm like a small town girl. I love being with my family. I don't travel without them very often. So even me, like coming to something like this, it's stepping outside of my comfort zone a little, but I know the impact that it's going to have on my career, my connections, like being able to touch you and hug you and like meet all of the people that I am constantly in contact with through social media. It's different. It's different when you get to network and meet people in real life. So Yeah, I do think that's very, very important to just be yourself, and the people that want to support you and love you, those are your people and they will follow you.
Another thing that I love about you is that, you and Jody are really good friends.
We
now,
are.
right? And you live in the same city.
We do.
And your city is small,
Uh-huh.
and you offer the same treatment.
Yep.
Yet you don't see each other as competition. Instead, you support one another.
We do.
But I don't see that a lot in the industry. Like a lot of people are doing it, but there's also a lot of people who, oh, it's just my competition. And the one thing that I really kind of hate is when you hear other people talk bad things about their neighbor.
Yeah.
What's your message to all the PMU artists? Like, because I feel like, if you are good with your competition, how you treat your competition is how you're treating yourself.
Yeah.
That's gonna bounce back like a boomerang.
I agree, 100%. It's so important. Again, like I said, mindset has shifted. The industry has shifted and changed. Years ago, Jody and I did, I think, truly, at one point, look at each other as competition. It's not like that just never happened for us. We did see each other that way until we got the opportunity to meet. And when you can meet and connect in real life, right? Like, I think I saw her at the shopping mall one time and I was like, Blair, I said to my husband, I'm like, that's Jody. And he's like, go say hi. And I was like, really? And I was nervous. And I just went over and I said hi. And from that day forward, we realized we have so much in common. We can share so much of what we're going through. We just fell in love. Her personality is so amazing. And then we collaborated on projects and, we make funny reels together and we do things. We've gone to Hawaii together with our families. Like, we are very, very close. And it hurts me to think that some people will not get the opportunity to have those types of connections with people because they're afraid. So just try. What's the worst that's going to happen? If they're not receptive, they're not receptive, but you can try. I think it's really important.
I feel like sometimes because we're in a very women-dominated industry.
We are.
Sometimes jealousy, competition can come in.
Yeah.
If I'm someone like that and I get jealous all the time, how do I get out of that mindset?
That's a great question. I think it's very self-reflective. I think you have to look inwards. A lot of the times jealousy, it's not even the person that you're jealous of, it's what you feel like you're missing. It's what you are missing inside. So you have to look inwards and you have to say, like, what is it that I can do to get myself out of that mindset? Really focus on your own personal growth and things that you can do so that you don't look at that person as competition. I always choose to focus on the positive. I always do.
I love it.
Yeah, growing, thinking about how I can improve, but not trying to focus on anything that's going to give you negative feelings. Just focus on things that are going to uplift you and, light a little bit of a fire. Use that as motivation, not jealousy.
I love it.
Yeah.
A lot of PMU artists that are just starting, like, there's a lot that's become successful, but there's also a lot of people that gives up so easily. If I'm that person right now that's like feeling kind of low, I'm not getting clients, I'm not getting models, what do I need to do?
You need to keep going, first of all.
I
wish I knew the stats, but I can assume that they are very high from people that I've talked to in the past who have tried to take a training and they give up. That first year is hard. If it was easy, this industry would be even more saturated. It would be too competitive. It's the ones that pursue, that continue going through it, and they just get to the other side. So you can't expect it to happen overnight. It doesn't. And it is hard, I know, when you're, especially with social media nowadays, when you're following people who have put in that work and all you're seeing is their highlight reel and, the opportunities that they're presented with and where they're at. It can feel defeating and you can feel like, I'm never going to get there. That's not going to happen for me. But don't forget that person that you're watching on the other side, they've gone through it. They had times where they were crying. They didn't have clients, they felt like I should give up too, but they didn't. So you do have to put in the time. I want people to know that this industry, as amazing as it is, as grateful as we are to be in it, it takes work all the time. But if you have that passion, like I said, that I do inside, it never really truly feels like work.
Correct.
You know?
Correct. So I think that's one thing too, right? A lot of people just enters the industry because they had their brows done by another
Yes.
artist, and they see that person so full,
Yes.
like they're the booking and charging thousands
Yes.
of dollars. So you're like, I'm gonna make so much money,
Yeah.
and then they take the 2-day training, and
Yeah.
then they realize, wait, now I have to practice. Now I
Yeah.
have to get models. Now I have to post on social media.
Social media. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot to it. We wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
So true. So it's really about like being willing to never give
Never.
up. Have you ever cried in the beginning?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. I cried a lot. And I didn't have shoulders to cry on. I had, my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, but I didn't have people that I could connect with until, like I said, Jody came into my life. And it's not just Jody. There's actually a lot of really, really talented artists in my city. We've got Lily Ma, Hoy, like there's some really big names. And so we're all friendly, like we're all really good friends, and we go out for dinners and stuff like that together. So being able to have someone that you can connect with that's in the industry, even if it's online, if it's not in person and it's an online connection that you can, vent to once in a while, someone that shares those pain points with you, can just listen to you, it really, really helps. And again, networking opportunities like this helps you to build those relationships.
This makes me realize that actually people that are joining the industry now are
Yeah.
kind of spoiled.
It's
Because we had to go through that, like
I know.
no support, no nothing,
No.
and then your trainer, you
We've-
can't ask them questions after.
We have conditioned the industry very nicely for you newbies.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
So do you think, some people are saying like, oh, the industry is now very saturated. I
Yeah.
don't want to enter that industry anymore. Do you think that's real?
No. I mean, everything is saturated to a certain degree. I don't believe that, because I believe that the ones that really put in that work, right? Talking about that work, the ones that are really committed to doing that will do very, very well, and the ones that half-ass it, I don't like to cuss, but the half-assers out there, they're not going to do super well. So it's all about commitment. But oversaturation, it's what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it.
You know what? I like that.
Yeah.
It's really not about, like, there's always room for somebody else and somebody new.
100%.
It's really all about how much effort are you willing to do. Because if everybody else are working 8 hours a day,
Yep.
and you're willing to put in 10 hours a day, you're definitely going to succeed.
100%.
So where can people find you for
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody doesn't know you yet, but if there is anyone there, where can they find you?
Well, I'd love to connect with you guys. Shay Danielle is my name. You can find me on Instagram at shaydanielle.pmu. And we've got tons of great online courses using New Conceal products, of course, on shopshaydanielle.com, as well as I think we've got over 12 free online courses. So there's lots of free education for new artists out there that are looking for a little bit of help.
Honestly, just go to their website. There's so much information. I actually learned about you from a friend of mine from Canada. She was like, look at this. And I was still living in the Philippines back then. And I was like, I've been following you since then. So I'm so happy. I remember when I first met you, I was so nervous.
I was nervous to meet you too. And we had the most amazing time at dinner. It was so nice.
So Shay Danielle, make sure to check her out. Follow her on Instagram. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. That was amazing.
Thank
that
you.
was amazing.
So
Really
good.
great.
Thank you so much.
So much.